Jim Falkenstein here with some more information for you. Today, the Citizens Budget Committee meeting, day 2, brought to you live from Masons on Main. Masons on Main, you can't spell Masons on Main without Those are 2 M's, Masons, Mains. Anyway, all right, today is for proposals for adding or deleting funds. Like the main purpose of the Citizens Budget Committee. So let's get right to it. But first, public forum. There's a lady that spoke, her mic didn't work, so maybe she cared about childcare. And then a lady came out with her daughter and she said, my kid goes to Hellman, like I did, and childcare is expensive, and the city scholarship fund helps me afford YMCA childcare. And the 5G guy came up and he says, I hate this ambulance fee. The ambulance is making buku profit, so why raise the fee? And the head of the YMCA said, I used to work at a city manager's office, and we need the child care grant for the city. And a youth baseball lady said, parks fees and insurance is already high, but if fees go up, it'll cost our families. And a baseball cap lady said, the proposed hourly fee from parks is crazy. We'd pay $1,000, and guess what? Talent pays 25 cents a year, and Klamath pays $1 a year. And a baseball volunteer lady said, well, we all volunteer like crazy, and Parks and Rec, they didn't listen to us and raised fees anyways. Boo. And now, proposals for line item changes, right? Well, first, like last week, some other departments presented their budgets, but this time their work was super duper important, and they worked super way harder than anyone else and accomplished way more than humanly possible. And that was the Community Development Department, the Finance Department, the Administration Department, and Parks. And now, citizens' budget change proposals. Okay, wait. First, let's ask some questions, AKA let committee members sound smart while asking something that staff will ultimately sidestep. This guy Dahl, he goes, hey, why does it feel like all of a sudden fees and rates are shooting up all at once? And Sabrina Cotta, the city manager, goes, oh, well, we haven't done any increases for a long time. And during COVID, we had a smaller staff, and the federal government gave us a lot of COVID money. And so COVID ended, and we hired staff like crazy because we got that one big tax refund check. And now that the federal government isn't giving us any money, the people we hired still want to get paid. So we got to keep paying them. And all the costs are going up all over the place. So forget targeted incremental increases with a delay in massive CIP projects. Let's keep doing everything and jack up all the fees and rates. Problem solved. And then the mayor, she says, she goes, hey, can we raise building fees sooner rather than later? And planning guy, Brandon Goldman, he goes, yeah, we're working on a plan to do, he goes, yeah, but we can raise fees whenever we like, right? And he goes, yeah, I mean, sure we can. And then Bloom, he goes, hey, why did all these fees and rates increases show up all of a sudden? And so Sabrina Cotta goes, well, we don't get projections until late. And, and the previous administrations, they were also bad. And the strategic plan. And so there you have it. And this guy Kaplan, he goes, hey, let's not criticize anything. The city staff is doing everything great. All right. And then this one says, everyone hates the golf course, and we need more community input for the strategic plan. And Sabrina Cotta, she says, well, we need to bring in a consultant for this strategic plan. Of course, yeah, there's no way you guys could do it. And then the committee lady says, most groups didn't feel consulted for this budget. Does the city have a process of consulting groups before changes in fees and services? And the city manager, Sabrina Cotta, she goes, we're just following the consumer price index, but I mean, we could do that, I guess. And then the parks commissioner, Rocky Houston, he says, words. No, we have no process to consult groups. That's all right. And then this guy goes, hey, a $6.50 park fee is way better than a $5 park fee, right? And this guy goes, Rocky, park superintendent, he goes, $5 is actually fine. And then the Dahl, he goes, He goes, this is a counselor. He goes, hey, we need better forecasting. Are we innovating? Are we innovating? And Sabrina Cotta, she goes, oh, we are innovating, but super slow government innovating, you know. and then it's at hour 52, so there's only 55 minutes left. So Bloom is ready to ask for something. He goes, hey, can I make an actual budget proposal now so we can debate it before the next meeting? And Citizen Budget Committee Chairman Shane Hunter, he says, of course not. More questions. And so some new committee member, she goes, hey, I know flowchart words, and what's up with the golf course, and why are kids programs cut, and why do we have so many FTE managers? Oh, new person. That's so cute, these questions. And then this guy, Rocky, he goes, actually, I agree with the FTE top-heavy idea, and I'm working on it. But just so you know, my managers are outworking managers. They're not just pointing managers. And then a very confident committee member says, a point of clarification, a budget committee can't really do anything because everything is policy, and that's council stuff. And like I said, that is not true. This committee can defund or add funds to any line item as long as they propose a balancing element. So you know. And then so finally at 2 hours and 14 minutes of the meeting, this Bloom guy, he says, I move to restore the $240,000 grant for children childcare that the city manager quietly removed from this budget despite bragging about this childcare grant a number of times in this process. And you see it right here.
Our intent is not to become a savings bank. Our intent is to provide services for the community. And so we're able to do a lot, like the childcare grants, like, you know, all of the pass-through.
And then the city manager, Sabrina Cotta, she goes, well, I guess I could fire someone or just cancel our entire strategic plan. And this guy goes, well, how about some other options? And she goes, well, you tell me. And he goes, nah, it's your job to bring back some options. And then one of the committee lady, this is a different one, the one with a baseball cap, she does transportation sometimes and stuff. She goes, what about like the reserve fund's got some extra money? And this one goes, yeah, Bloom, out in the hall now. And oh man, she went out in the hall, and they go out and they return, and then Bloom says, he goes, oh, Sabrina's all bent that I call her out on cutting the child care fund, so she threatened to scream conflict of interest just because I used that fund. I'm not ashamed of being poor, so I withdraw and recuse myself, but I don't apologize for advocating for poor families. Oh, that was strong. And then the mayor goes, okay, I'll pick that up. I'll make the same motion. And it was all approved by everybody. So in your face, child care stealing city manager, that goes to the next level. And then this guy, where is he? Come on, he's somewhere. He is. This guy goes, hey, I moved to add $1.4 million to the parks and have staff figure out how that can happen and bring it back at the next meeting. Spoiler alert, it's a $5 fee. I was approved 8-4. Hey, I don't know the numbers of who did what, and that was the end of the meeting. All right, that was some drama, right, in this meeting. But apparently, questioning the infallibility of city manager Sabrina Cotta's budget makes the city manager cranky, and she will yell at you in the hallway like a fifth grade teacher. What are the odds she started with, listen, mister, in my classroom we do not act out like this. This is Jim Falkenstein with some more information for you saying, listen, mister, stay tuned for day 3 of this 3-parter because it starts right now. God damn, that one was good.